So I want to talk about my teacher training, Breathwork teacher training here, because I get a lot of questions about it, a lot of emails about it. And so maybe I can clear most everything up in this video if you're considering taking Breathwork teacher training, or you're on the fence, or you just want to find out more information. So I created these trainings in a way that I wish I had gotten the training in the first place. I went through a lot of different trainings with a bunch of different teachers, and a lot of it wasn't for me. It was in a kind of new agey woo-woo style. And I felt like so much of the stuff that I learned in there was totally unnecessary and just didn't apply to actually taking somebody through a one-on-one breathwork session, or through a couple session, or through a class. So the way I've created the trainings is to try and make them as practical as possible. Meaning, like, I'm never going to show you something that you're not going to use, or that you that just doesn't have anything to do with breathwork whatsoever. And I try to just literally spell everything out. I have PDF downloads in my classes, in my in-person trainings that I hand out. All this, I have a bunch of stuff that I hand out, and also online as well. So I have the teacher training online as well, which you can do wherever you are at your own pace. And I have the downloads in there. And what's with the downloads is, it literally is a guide for you to go through a session, like a checklist. I have a checklist for you before somebody shows up for a session, what to do after the session, what to say in the session, what to say before you get in front of a class. I give you a technique by which to lead your group, so that if you get lost in your head because you're not a teacher, maybe this is the first thing you've ever taught, or just lost in your head because sometimes when you're standing up there at the front of the room and everybody's looking at you, you just totally get lost. I give you a simple technique to follow, the triangle technique I call it, that you can fall back on, that you'll know exactly what to say, what to focus on, and how to keep it simple to teach this breathing technique and to tell people like exactly what's going to happen. Because I found it crazy that I would go to classes sometimes and teachers wouldn't tell people all the wild, crazy things that happen in breathwork. And if you didn't know that your hands could clamp up and your face was going to get numb and all this kind of weird stuff can happen to you, and you do breathwork, it's going to freak you out. So I feel like one of the main jobs as a breathwork teacher is to prepare people for all the stuff that's going to happen, so that they feel safe, so that they can then push through their discomfort and have a bigger experience and let go of even more. If you don't feel safe, you're not going to push through, and you're not going to let go, and you're going to be freaked out, and it's not going to be a great experience. So one of the main jobs, if not the main job, of the breathwork teacher is to make people feel safe when they're doing a session or when they're in a class. And so that's one of the main things I teach, is how do you get people to feel safe in a session or in a class? And that's by letting them know, what's going to happen. So I go over all that stuff, whether it's in my in-person training or it's my online training. I go over all that stuff. I teach you how to do one-on-one sessions and all the things that you have to do to prepare for that. I teach you how to do couple sessions. I teach you how to do groups of people. And I probably have the biggest groups out there out of any breathwork teacher out there, more consistently than anyone. For years and years, I've had just massive classes. And so if that's where you want to go to, then I'm definitely the guy that you want to learn from, because you want to learn from someone who's leading big groups. There are breathwork teachers out there that don't even lead groups, that don't even lead classes anymore. And I don't know. I think that, you want to learn from someone who's actually doing it. So I'm out there leading the biggest breathwork classes there are, I think, right now. I don't think there's anyone doing that. And I don't say that from a place of ego. I just say that's what's going on. My goal was to make this thing as big as I could, to help as many people as I could, to share it with as many people as I could. And so to take that to another level, now I've had to train people, to teach people how to do it, because I can only teach so many classes and I can only help so many people. So now I'm teaching people how to teach people. And it's incredible to watch my students out there doing classes, helping people, and getting feedback from them, like how rewarding it is. Because leading breathwork, teaching breathwork, is the most fulfilling thing I've ever done. It's the most fulfilling thing I've ever experienced. When you take someone through a session or a class and they come up to you afterwards and they say, that was the most life-changing thing I've ever experienced. Thank you so much. I let go of so much. and then you see them and they tell you like that thing changed their life. It feels really good. Like, you know, you're out there undeniably doing really good work in the world. And that's fulfilling. And I tell people all the time, like, happiness sometimes comes and sometimes goes because it's an emotion, and emotions come and go, but like, fulfillment is key. And teaching breathwork is the most fulfilling thing I've ever done. And I love doing it, and I love, you know, making new teachers. So the way I have it set up is it's really simple. Like, you don't have to go through all these different levels, like in modules, and spend $8,000 on training for a year, which I think is crazy. It's just 2 different trainings. I have a basics training, basics and one-on-one, how to work with people one-on-one, and then I have a how to lead couples and groups. And the way I have it set up is you can do them in either order, and they're both in person in California and Los Angeles. I do one every other month, and then 2 months later I do the opposite one, and then I alternate them back and forth. And if you do both of them, I give you a certification through me. You can also do them both online, and you can get a certification that way. And you can also do one in person and one online, because I have a lot of people that fly to do a training from far distances all over the world, and they don't want to come back again and do the second one. So some people will do one training in person to get that experience and then do the other one online. And the feedback that I've been getting from the online training has been incredible. People just love it, and it's really well done, and I spent a lot of money and a lot of time and a lot of energy making it really good, so that you can really get that information and you can guide people through breathwork. So it's working, and people are like doing the online training and guiding people through breathwork, which I love. So it's up to you if you want to do one in person and one online, or both online, and you can do them at your convenience. It's recorded. It's not an online course that you have to show up for at a certain time and a certain date, no matter what your time zone is. You do it at your convenience, at your speed. So it's a great course online, and then you can do them in person with me too, which I love. And I keep the trainings limited to a certain amount of people, so that I can answer everyone's question in there. So some people like it better in person, and so those trainings, all of them have sold out. They always sell out. So if you're interested in doing an in-person training, all the dates are on my website. It will literally say at the top of the website, Breathwork teacher training dates, right, in person. So all those dates are there, and you just sign up through the website, and show up and have an incredible experience. I hope this video helped, and that you are interested in becoming a breathwork teacher and changing lives. Thanks.